We'll do introductions in a moment. I just want to wait maybe one more minute and see if anyone else is on our call today.
Good idea, Lori. I forgot my water.
Sounds like you have about a minute to go get it.
I do, yes. We'll take a minute and let everybody get some water. At 12:02, I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order officially, if that helps. But I see people still coming on, so. And hopefully my phone doesn't start ringing again.
Shelley, how are you feeling?
A little bit better, yeah. So I had this horrible ear sinus infection thing that dragged on, recovered, and then it sort of came back and decided to stick around for about 4 or 5 days. But I'm on the upswing now, which is good because it was getting very old very quickly.
Yeah, good.
All right, so I think we'll start off with, but we'll call the meeting to order. Before we do introductions, not interruptions, I wanted to remind everybody to please go on the SIP website. And if you're going to be attending our club strategic planning session on February 11th, please go on the webpage and register for that on the event calendar. That will let me know how much to bring in terms of goodies for everyone for breakfast. And then also, if you're going to be attending our Sip and Savor wine tasting fundraiser on the 25th, please hop on the website and register and get your tickets. So with that public service announcement, we'll go ahead and start with introductions, and we'll start with Henrietta.
Good morning. Henrietta Speedy, former CFO for Engineering Services, longtime SIP member.
Ariana.
Hi, my name's Ariana. I'm a student at GCU and I'm in their psychology program right now.
Paula Norby.
Hi, Paula Norby, former educator, small business owner.
Lori Reed.
Hi, I'm Lori Reed. I'm currently retired and I'm a professional soroptimist.
Lee Wales.
Hi, everyone. I was formerly with Bull Information Systems as a director, and later I served as a development officer with Valley of the Sun United Way. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Shelley, can we pause for 1 second? Kay's jumping back in.
She's jumping back in.
Okay.
She's back. Hey, were you able to hear the introductions? You're on mute. I'm sorry.
No, I heard Henrietta and then
Okay.
you all froze, so.
Okay, so you might, just a suggestion, you might want to turn off your video because that will save bandwidth if your internet connection is a little bit unstable. And then I'm just going to ask if it's okay if I kind of go around the horn after Henrietta and just ask everyone to reintroduce themselves so Kay can hear. So Ariana.
Hi, I'm Ariana. I'm a psychology student at GCU right now.
Thank you. And Paula.
Hi, Paula Norby, former educator, now a small business owner.
And Lori.
Lori Reed. I am retired from the healthcare industry and I'm a professional soroptimist.
And Lee Wales.
Lee Wales, formerly a director with Bull Information Systems, and then later development officer with Valley of the Sun United Way.
And Joan Burke.
Hi, Joan Burke. I'm a telecommunications lawyer and a Philip Research Soroptimist member.
Susan Bolton.
First, let me apologize that there's no video. I got a new computer since the last time I was on Zoom, and apparently they didn't connect the camera. But I'm Susan Bolton, and I'm a judge on the United States District Court.
Lisa Farrar.
Hi, I'm Lisa Farrar. I'm a retired mortgage banking executive and former fitness studio owner. And I've been a soroptimist for about 8 years now.
And Tammy?
Yeah, so I'm just getting to know Kay, but Tammy Zeller, I'm an underwriting manager at State Farm Insurance in Tempe.
And I'm Shelley Katz. I'm president of the club this year, and I'm unit chief counsel for environmental enforcement at the Arizona Attorney General's office. So with that, I will turn the program over to Tammy to introduce our speaker.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have Kay join us because I was able to connect with some of her associates and learn about her program, Women for Women. Kay is co-founder and president of Women for Women in Tempe. She's a graduate of Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana. Her degree is speech and language pathology. She taught in both Indiana and Louisiana before moving to Arizona in 1974. And in 1975, she began employment in the Pendergast employee or elementary school district in Avondale. So anyone who's been around Avondale, Pendergast Elementary School District. She was a speech and language pathologist working with children with communication disorders in elementary and junior high school. She also worked with regular education students, but her heart was always with the special needs students in those grades. So that really touched her. She retired from the district in 2013 and started volunteering in Tempe Community Action Agency, so TCAA, in their pantry in 2014, as well as some other areas within the Tempe area within TCAA. Really distributed through the little pantry there in Tempe at our church, sack lunches, clothing, hygiene products, 7 days a week, and that really drove her passion. So Women for Women in Tempe was founded by Kay and a group of women who were recruited by her to form the Women for Women Tempe board, and they were all passionate about the need to provide feminine hygiene products to women who need them, but may have difficulty affording them. Women for Women Tempe was originally founded as a Ministry of Guardian Angels Catholic community and became an independent 501c in July of 2018. So relatively new organization, which is really cool. It's all volunteer-based organization, and they've distributed over 6,000 bags in their first year. And in 2022, over 21,000 bags, as well as individual pads and tampons that were distributed. Really cool. In 2018, Kay won the Don Carlos Impact Award from the City of Tempe in recognition of her commitment and compassion and seeing a need and taking action to address women's needs in our community. And in 2021, she received Martin Luther King Jr. Diversity Award presented by the City of Tempe Human Relations Commission. So Women for Women Tempe is not what Kay envisioned her life and retirement to be, as many of you can relate to, but she's followed her heart and has seen the need, and with the help of so many other individuals and agencies is meeting that need. And hopefully we'll find some connections that we will be able to continue and really start to help Kay in her work with Women for Women. So Kay, tell us more.
Wow. Well, thank you all for having me and just recognizing that I know you all do, that there is a real need for women who live on the streets or women who can't afford products to have feminine hygiene products. And we started this probably about 6 years ago. I was listening to NPR and they were talking about, there was a segment about a woman who was providing bags or pads to women living on the streets in Dallas. And even though I had done some work with homeless, I had absolutely never thought about what it would be like to be a woman living on the streets and have your period. What in the world would you do? And I thought about it for about a month and then didn't even talk to anybody because I was rather ashamed of myself. And then I started telling people at the pantry or anybody that I met with, what would you do? And everybody almost to a person said, oh my gosh, that would be awful. I've never thought about it. So then people said that, but there was a group of about 5 of us who said, we decided we're going to try this. And I knew living in Tempe that some organization was doing this because it was just so obvious there was a need. And then I talked to the City of Tempe and I talked to places, and no, everybody recognized there was a need. So we just kind of started because I volunteered at TCAA. We started with the iHelp. Do you all know what the iHelp program is? It's the only homeless shelter for people in Tempe. And they travel, it's about 30 or 40 people who are travel between churches every night. They go to a different church to stay and they're fed. And so they reached out to several of the churches, the iHelp churches, and three or four of them responded to me. So I sat down with all these pastors who were about 15 and all tatted up, and I talked to them about what we wanted to do. And they all said, okay, you know, let's do this. And so I went to Redemption Church. I talked to a young pastor at Redemption Church, and he said, yeah, he said, why don't you talk to our, stand before the church, in front of the church, and you can talk to our congregants. And so in my brain, I was standing in front of a church as people came in and talking to them about this. So on Monday, before I was supposed to talk on Sunday, I contacted him and I said, I'm ready to stand in front of your church and greet people in the morning. And he said, call me. And I thought, oh man, because I'm not a public speaker. I've never done that. And so he said, Kay, I want you to know you're going to stand on the altar. We have 3 services and it'll be about 1,800 people. And he said, I'm going to ask you questions and then we're going to do that. I thought, oh, crap. But anyway, so I did it, and we ended up having a lot of fun, because there's nothing more fun than talking about periods in front of a congregation of church. And afterwards, some of the women came up and said, I can't believe you talked about this, and I can't believe you said those words, and the words were like Tampax. They weren't like menstruation or any of that stuff. And I thought, if you can't say it at a church, where in the world can you say it? And we just started really, really little, and it just kind of grew. And then we went to the Tempe Care Fair, and this woman came up and she asked me if we were a 501c3. And I said, we're not, because basically it's me, because it sounds real adult and it sounds real scary, and I just having way too much fun. And she said, well, her honey was a lawyer and would do it all for free. So we are now a 501c3. Every year we distribute bags through different agencies or different organizations or places where they target, or our women are targeted for, like TCAA. We have them at Gracie's Thrift in Tempe. We're in over 40 different locations at this point. We started out in Tempe, and there's a friend of mine who started a Women for Women Tempe in Surprise. So she handles the West Valley. We have them at Nourish Phoenix, a New Leaf. I've got this all the Native Health Care Centers, all the Mountain Park Health Centers, all the high schools in the Tempe district. We don't necessarily provide bags to them, but we provide single pads. We provide cases of pads or cases of tampons. We have enough supplies now, enough stock, that we can, if somebody needs just tampons, we can give them just tampons to distribute. We are all volunteer. I'm really quite proud of that, because I know when we can talk to people about donating money, every penny goes into something to help women. Our only expenses that aren't directly related to our bags are we have 2 storage units now. We got our second one last year when we got a huge donation from a couple of teenage girls named Brooklyn and Bailey, and they did some kind of a donation drive and gave organizations like us. We got, I think, $12,000 worth of pads, which is really, I had to, let's get another storage unit. So anyway, so that's what we do. Last year we gave out, I think, 24,000 bags, and I figured that. So anyway, that's what we do. We're real basic. We're real simple. We distribute our bags. They look like lunch bags. They're brown lunch bags. That's what they are. We didn't want it, when we started out, we didn't want it to scream, I'm having my period. I had talked to, before we even started, I had talked to a woman in East Lansing, Michigan. about who had started a program like this. And she told me about basically how to go about some things, but because my background was in education and several of us were in education, you know, I knew nothing about business, nothing about any of this. So it's all been a learning adventure for me. It's also, I have met just the nicest people. I have met lots of different organizations that are helping folks. And I think during COVID, it kept me sane because I knew that people still had periods during COVID, so they still needed our products. And I knew that we were doing something that was helping this. And it's just been, there were times I said the person this has helped the most has been me, because it's just, I mean, I just know good groups. I meet somebody new. One of the places, I'm way scattered, but one of the places we take our bags is the ICNA, which is the Islamic Circle of North America. I take them every Sunday. They have a food pantry, and they go all over the state. We've given things to the Navajo Nation through
Okay, I don't know if you can hear us, but you froze. Kay had gotten, just so everyone knows, Kay had gotten kind of a warning from her computer that her connection was unstable. So I think she's back now.
Okay. So that's who we are. That's what we do. Simple. We need, as far as help, we always need donations for product or money to buy stuff. We also always need people to have, we call them packing parties, where women get together and assemble the bags. And we can assemble, like 350 bags in an hour. And we go once a month, we go to Friendship Village, that's tomorrow. And once a month, we go to the Centers for Rehabilitation. Once a month, we're going to go to Mountain Point High School for their special needs. Kids are going to assemble bags for us. Other than that, it's church groups, it's Contempo Mobile Home Park for senior citizens. They've been wonderful for us. Book clubs, just people wanting to assemble bags and help. So I don't know what else to say. And yes, Lee.
Hi, Kate. Yes, I have a quick question. So can you give us an idea of what would be in each bag?
Okay, I'm sorry. Each bag has 12 pads or 12 tampons. We don't mix them. 6 panty liners, feminine wipes, and hand wipes. We've had people ask us to mix the bags, but basically if a woman uses pads, she's not going to use tampons. We distribute almost twice as many, if not more than twice as many pads as we do tampons. Just by the nature of everybody can use a pad, not everybody can use a tampon. We distribute through, I think, 4 or 5 different homeless outreaches that we take bags to. And then they just flip them up, just seal them up and put them out. We have and then each bag is marked with either a T or a P so that whoever distributes them knows what they're getting. And at Mountain Park Health Center, they're just in a basket in the lobby with a sign that says, if you need pads or tampons, take what you need. And that's a preferable way, because when we first started, I had talked to TCAA about being under their umbrella. And the man I talked to said, well, the women would have to qualify for the food pantry. And I said, no, you shouldn't have to qualify. And if you need period pads or tampons, you need pads or tampons. And so that's just when we decided we were going to do this ourselves and get it done. And like I said, I just figured out the numbers of how many tampons we gave out last year. Last year, we gave out a total pads of 240,000 pads, 106,000 tampons, liners, 149,000, and 83,000 feminine wipes. So that was the 2023. So. Anything else?
Paula, looks like, oh, and then Lee after Paula.
Okay, so a couple of things. We have a program with the Girls Leadership Academy, which is a charter high school for girls in Phoenix.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking they're always looking for community service projects, and this assembling bags might be a good community service project for them.
Mhm.
Because we're always looking for things maybe that they could do at the school so they don't have to, transportation's always an issue.
What's the name of the school, Paula?
It's called the Girls Leadership Academy
Okay.
of Arizona, and it's located on the campus of Florence Crittenton at Mariposa.
We take bags to Florence Crittenton.
Ah, okay. So yeah, that might be a good one. The other thing, it was interesting to me, we do a financial planning session with the girls, and we were talking about expenses one time, and feminine hygiene products were one of the things they said they struggle with the most in running out of money for. And the school does a good job, I think, and maybe they get the supplies from you, I don't know, but they always have supplies in their closet for them. So I could see maybe more schools, and I don't even know, Ariana might know it at Grand Canyon, if there's needs for, because it is an expensive product
They
for
are.
a lot of women. And if you're on a budget, it's just one of those things that's just hard to budget in. So anyway, so those are just a couple of suggestions, and maybe I could follow up with you on
That would
setting
be
up a
great.
community service for the Girls Leadership Academy.
And when we first, if you think about it, they do back to school drives, they do backpack drives, they do food drives, they do hygiene drives, but nobody mentions feminine hygiene products. They don't, it's like you can't talk about it.
Right.
And
right.
when we first started, we'd go to a coffee shop and we'd kind of whisper. And then all of a sudden we're talking about real periods, this and tampons, that, and pads. But yeah, it's one of those things that it's just not even thought of.
Well, and I'm involved in another project on my own. I had visited Africa a few years ago, and many years ago, but that was the number one reason that girls dropped out of school, is because they didn't have access to feminine hygiene supplies. So there's a group called Sew Powerful, SEW, and we sew small bags. They're about 9 inches or so, and they're messenger kind of bags. And then we send them to Africa, and there's a group of women there that sew reusable pads and then do similar things with bags, hand sanitizer, wipes, soap. There's a group of ladies that make soap, and I think last year they distributed over 30,000 bags to girls, but you think it's 30,000 girls that can stay in school. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a pretty powerful mission. So I applaud you for recognizing the need. And I think it's just something that is so forgotten for
Yeah.
so many people.
And we've had, when we've sent things up to the reservation, one of the women who took products up there said that happens a lot on the reservation, is that the girls don't go to school. And it's just, and once I started thinking about it, I could not think about it. And then I started talking to people, and women steal the products. I had a neighbor who said she had a woman who was homeless, just she knew her but came to the house, and she went to the bathroom for an extended period of time, and the only thing that was missing were tampons. And the other day I got an email from a woman who was newly housed after being homeless for several years, and she was at 32nd Avenue in Indian School, and she said she was cutting up fabric. And she asked if we took her, my friend and I took her to about 4 cases of pads. And the place was awful. It was Section 8 housing. It was absolutely broken windows, boarded up windows. And I just felt so sorry for her, but she had a place to be inside, and she now had pads. And you just, you don't think about that. You don't think of how, I mean, there's so much that we take for granted, or I took for granted, or I think most of us do. And that was something. And we like getting young women involved because we have some teenagers who have assembled bags with their families. And one of them is going to do an internship with us this month for her senior project. But because teenage girls don't think about things like that, and they need to realize that there's a lot of need, and it's so basic for us who have periods and could, buy them, and they are expensive. They were expensive when I was buying. I'm buying them now, and they're expensive. But I think it's real important to get young women involved in this. So Paula, I think that would be great.
Yes. Kay, I was wondering, I had a couple of things, two different topics. Have you reached out to Kotex, for example, or any of the manufacturers to see about discounts or anything?
I have this wonderful friend who does all the purchasing for us, and she has, and there's not that much that they're willing to do. We purchased some, we belong to an organization called the Alliance of Period Supplies, which is a nationwide organization.
Okay, we lost you again. I don't know if you can hear us.
Shelley, I'm going to ask another question, and maybe Kay can hear me, and maybe other people can as well. It's been a while since I bought those products,
and
I couldn't remember. Are they taxed in Arizona?
Yes, they are.
See, we got to change that.
We do.
That is so wrong. It just bothers me so much that that's something that's essential. I mean, this is not like buying ice cream, it's not an extra thing.
No.
It just pisses me off.
Well, in California, they don't tax it.
Yes.
There are some states that don't tax.
And some of the states, I think one of the things that this Abby, the high school student, is going to do is she's going to be quite political, and she wants to get involved. So I think she might go start talking to people. But it's right. It's ridiculous. It's not like, oh my gosh, I'm going to have a period for fun. It's, this is just who we are and what we do. And it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now's a good time to do that. I mean, if you think about the fact that we have a women governor now, and if someone can get her ear, she can go talk to some other folks down at the Capitol, and maybe some legislation can be promulgated. It seems like this is a prime opportunity to do that.
And Althena Salmon went to bat for women in prisons, because women in prisons have allowed minimal amount of pads, and she went to bat for that, and they are now have tampons, and apparently it was for women to even get pads, they had to beg, and it was really awful. But now I think they have tampons in the prisons as well. There's a woman who runs a program for women being released from prison in the West Valley, and we provide supplies for her. And we also have them at the Maricopa County Juvenile Detention Probation Department for the girls coming out of jail. So,
any other questions for Kay? Henrietta?
Hey, you must buy in huge amounts. Are there any corporations that give you special deals? And if they did, I would think they were pretty good guys and try and shop there.
Oh, I think Kay's frozen again. I don't know if she can hear us. And then Ariana had a question too.
Yeah. Should I ask it or wait till she comes back?
Yeah, let's wait until she comes back. Tammy, do you have her cell number to call her and let her know that it may be easier for her to call into the meeting.
I'm gonna look really quick. She might be jumping off and jumping back in, and a good reminder to have her turn off keep the camera off.
Oh, Kay's back. You might want to turn your camera off, Kay, just because it uses less bandwidth on your internet.
Okay, how's that?
It's great. We can hear you. And
Okay.
Henrietta asked whether there were any retailers who gave you discounts if when you purchase products from them, because I think she might want to shop at those retailers. And then Ariana had a question as well, and I'll let her ask it after you respond to that first one.
There are none. There's nobody who gives us any special deals. We buy a lot from Target, a lot from Costco. Fry's sometimes has really good sales on pads, maxi pads. So no, we just go out and look for deals. And my friend Melissa who does the purchasing is a coupon user, so she's got it all together. So that helps.
And Ariana, you had a question?
Yeah, so I was confused at first, but so your organization doesn't just do like homeless shelters, it does like schools and individual people too.
It does, yeah, we have schools, individual people, different
Oh, I think she's gone again. It didn't work. Oh no.
medical centers, any place that addresses am I gone?
Oh, you're back now.
Okay. Guadalupe Family Resource Center, Kyrene Family Resource Center. We give bags to immigrants coming up to different churches who provide services for the immigrants. We have them at one of the fun places is Tempe Public Library.
Oh.
And they're in the restrooms there, and women just take them if they need them, and and that's kind of fun knowing that. I've had some woman wrote us a check, and I wrote her a thank you, and she said, I volunteer at the library, and I saw your bags there, and I thought, what a good idea. So she sent us some money. So I thought that was pretty cool. St. Joseph the Worker, the International Rescue Center. We just take cases of pads to them, and we send them down to the Refugee Resource Center in Soyanita, Mexico. We do that about every month. We send bags down, or pads and bags, whatever they need down there. So if I'm going to feel pretty heady, I'll say we're international, but I don't think we really are. So
well, Kay, one of the things that surprised me most about your remarks today was the fact that there still seems to be so much shame and taboo surrounding this issue, and you hear about that maybe being an issue in other cultures where discussion of periods and women's health issues is kind of taboo, but I was kind of taken aback that these taboos are still like right here in Tempe, right? Where I live in Tempe too, Kay. So that really that's an eye opener for me. I'm gonna have to process that for a minute, because it's just very surprising to me that this is a subject that people still are not willing to talk about openly.
What's been interesting is anything that we've done with high schools, and we've been at Tempe Prep and other places where young men are, and they are very willing to assemble bags. So I think they can change, but they are slow. And so I'm interested to see what Abby, our high school girl, is going to do and how she's going to address this. With just talking to her, the youthful enthusiasm was just really, really fun. Because most of us, well, all of us who are doing this are old. And so it's nice to know that young people are getting involved again, and so it's cool. It's cool. We've made bags with Girl Scouts, and you know, I think it's just an eye opener. The whole thing has just been an eye opener for me. Been wonderful.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe the taboo is sort of generational, and maybe it's starting to dissipate a bit, and that's good to hear.
Yeah. Yes.
I think of when I was in high school, or middle school, and someone said, you know, period or menstruation or tampon in front of a boy, there would just be, you know, mocking, giggling, whatever, you know, not any sort of sincere, hey, I'll help put those bags together, right? I can't imagine
Yes.
that I would have heard that. So
yeah.
Any other questions for Kay or comments? Great. Well, thank you, Kay, for talking with us today. And if I may ask, what part of Tempe do you live in?
I live at Mill and Southern.
Oh, okay. So I'm a
Oh,
Tempe
right.
resident too. I live farther south. I live near off rural between Warner and Ray. So just
Okay.
down the street.
Down
kind
the
of.
street. That's exactly. Tempe is a great place to live. I love Tempe.
Yeah.
So, and if anybody wants to contact us, Tammy has my contact information. If you want to have a packing party, we bring a lot of products with us, and there are usually 3 or 4 of us, 2 or 3, depending on how many people you're going to have, and we come to facilitate it and help and answer questions. And honestly, every one of them is different. Every packing party is different, but they're all just a lot of fun. Because I think there's nobody more fun than women.
And Kay, if you're up for something fun to do, on Saturday, February 25th, our club is actually having a wine tasting party at the Cellar on Warner Road in Awatuki. So if you're interested in doing something like that, reach out to me or Tammy, and we can tell you how to sign up and join us for that.
Okay. Well, thank you. And thank you all very much.
Kay, thank you. It sounds like we've already got some good connections. Paula with the students that we work with on our Dream It, Be It programs, and then others who might come in and help you with that
would be fun.
Party. But really appreciate you taking the time to join in. And really, for those who weren't here at the beginning, we learned that Kay was also a Live Your Dream Award winner when she was going to college. So pretty cool. Connections to Soroptimist. It's a small world.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes. So thank you all very much.
Very nice to meet you, Kay.
Nice to meet you all.
Kay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. And before we sign off for the day, since we're all here together as a club, is there anything anyone you know, just wants to tell me or let me know about? Anything that I need to share with the club? Okay, hearing nothing. Hopefully I'll see you guys all on the for our events on the 11th and the 25th, and at our next business and program meeting.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Tammy. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.